That's basically the whole idea of the story. It's not that much different. Then when it comes to multiplayer, it's probably one of the best games on the Wii for online. There's no friend codes whatsoever, Wii friend codes or anything. But there is codes you still do use. When you go online, you give yourself a name, which is usually what your character's name is. And then they give you like a 6-digit code, which is both letters and numbers. And all you have to do is just look for, when you go online, you could search for players and you could search them by either their name or their code. And then they pop up as long as they're online, and you could send them messages, you could send them a friend's request, you could warp to where they're at, like the city they're at, because when you go on there's different servers, and each server has their own little like city, like town or whatever, and you go in there, and when you go online, you can go up with 3 other players and do the quests. And just like the single player where you basically do the 1-star quest to the 5-star quest, they're in there as well, but they're different missions. They're from the single player. And basically, there's a room you can team up with 3 other people, but 4 including yourself, I mean. And you can go on these hunting missions, these capturing missions, these material missions, you go up. And then there's also these event quests that only pop up for a short amount of time. Capcom puts them up, and then they only will be up there for a short amount of time, and you can go out in those missions as well. And then there's the arena play, like I said earlier, basically. During multiplayer. Basically, the arena play, you can play it by yourself, single player. You can play it split screen multiplayer with another person, and you can play it online. I played single player by myself offline, and I might have tried it once online, but I never was able to play it with another person yet. If I ever can get the Insane Gaming Geek over here, maybe we could play split screen, but online I'm going to try to get more people probably on my friends list and other people to see on there. Never really tried, but arena play is where you go inside the stadium, and basically there's monsters in there, and you just fight them. You just fight the monsters, and you have a character, and you have to beat them in a short amount of time. In a short amount of time, you get like a rank depending on what time you beat them in. And basically, besides that, multiplayer is just good. I don't know. It's just like there's no friend code. You can send messages to people. And there's Wii Speak. You can also use Wii Speak in the game in case you ever had to talk to people. And if you don't have Wii Speak, you can also use a keyboard and just plug it in the back of your Wii. And basically, you can just type messages up in case you want to basically have fast communication with your people. This is a PS2 keyboard I got like years ago when I was playing Final Fantasy XI on the PS2 online. I don't play that game online anymore, but I still do have the game though. It was fun. And if you don't have either of those things, you can just use this normal generic keyboard in there where you just click the letters by using the diagonal pad. You just click them and enter it in. That's much slower though. And basically, it's just a well-developed game. This is probably one of the best online games on the Wii. Probably, like I said, it's a pretty good online game. And that's basically it. But basically, going on to finish off the review. I don't have to say this is a good game, but it's not for everyone though. This game does get really hard in later missions, although I haven't got that far yet. But it's pretty hard, and you really will need to practice and get yourself leveled up, especially from what I've been hearing from people on YouTube and IGN and whatnot. The game is not for everyone. It's probably, in my opinion, one of the best third-party games on the Wii. Probably the best, actually. It has fun multiplayer, ranging from when you just do quests, so if you want to go in the arena, and a split screen too, in case no one has online. But if you don't have online, I probably wouldn't recommend this game to you, though. You will need online to have a full Monster Hunter 3 experience. It is good online, like I said. There's not much of a story, so if you're a big story person that cares so much about story, this game's not probably for you. But if you care more about the gameplay and hunting the monsters and doing stuff like that and going online, that's probably for you though. There's lots of quests you can do, and single player and multiplayer have different quests for you to do. There's different ones in each star, like each rank. There's lots of weapons and armies you can get, and it'll take a long time to get those things, ranging from sword and shield, the great sword, the switch axe, the long sword, the hammer, the bow gun and all that other stuff. And there's different forms of each one, especially based off the materials that you capture that you get during your missions. Like you collect when you carve the monsters up, when you beat them and all that, and that you find in the environments. There's many monsters in the game. There's a decent amount, and there's no friend code, which is a pretty big plus actually. Although there still is a name and ID, but it's not as long, and you can search for either one, your name or your ID, when you go online. So basically, in the end, I give the gameplay a 9 out of 10. The graphics, the presentation of the game, a 9.5 out of 10. The sound of the game, a 9.5 out of 10. The story of the game, a 7.5 out of 10. And the multiplayer game, a 10 out of 10. It's not perfect, but it's really close, and I find it really fun. And I recommend this game to anybody out there that's a Monster Hunter fan, specifically. If you're not a Monster Hunter fan, maybe I would recommend you rent it, because you might not be used to it, because the game is pretty difficult, and if you're not really good at difficult games, maybe rent it, and if you're used to it, maybe then buy it then. And that's all I can say. You can't really recommend it to anyone besides people who are Monster Hunter fans and people who really want to try the series out. And if you're not really used to difficult games, maybe rent it before you buy it. I wouldn't recommend it totally as a buy it first unless you're really sure you want to buy it. So maybe rent it first. And in the end, I give Monster Hunter 3, Monster Hunter Try on Nintendo Wii, a 9.1 out of 10. Which means it could be in the whole range of a 9 to 9.5. You can consider anywhere in there, but my set score is 9.1. Hope you guys like the review. And before I end this video, I want to show you right there. That's my name and my code, YG372R. I'll put it up as an annotation as well, but I wanted to show you that too, just in case you don't see the annotation. Maybe if this video is put on a different site, the annotations usually don't go with it, I don't think. So I showed you that just in case. And so send me a message or put a comment on this video if you want to send me yours, and I'll show you, and then you'll get mine. We'll make each other friends, and then we'll play Monster Hunter 3 online together. Hope you guys like this video. See you guys later. Peace.
Don't go sneaking into those chocolates. They're reserved for the queen.
Gina, I'm dying.